Rakhi Pancholi. I am 46 years old. I grew up here in Edmonton. I've lived in a few other countries around the world, but right now I'm an elected official for Edmonton Whitemud. I have two kids, aged 9 and 11. I'm a big fan of dogs, particularly rescue dogs. So we have a gorgeous rescue dog at home. And I love doing yoga, and I love being outside in our beautiful Edmonton summers. So I have two young kids. My kids are 9 and 11. When I first got into politics, they were 4 and 6. And I was not really prepared for how demanding on my time politics was. And I was in private practice in law, right, before that. So it was pretty demanding, but politics really takes you like evenings, weekends, it's quite busy. So certainly like one of the challenges has been, finding how to balance. I want to be present in my family. I want to be engaged and be around them, and but I also want to do my job really well. So I'm lucky that I have a great partner. My husband's super, involved and engaged, and we are a true partnership raising our family. But it'll always be a challenge of wanting to be home more, but also wanting to do my work to the way that I want to do it, and that balance is not always easy to find. When I was in school, I absolutely loved social studies, which actually just, obviously now I'm in politics, it makes sense. I was also a drama kid. So I did a lot of theater when I was in high school and into a little bit after high school. And I always joke that people think that because I went to law school and I'm a lawyer, that's what prepared me well for being in politics. But I always joke that it's actually my drama background that prepared me well for politics, because a big part of it is often like, knowing where to stand and having the right emotion and attentive listening and all of that. So that really helped me getting involved in politics. Oh, that's tough. I decided at some point in grade 12 that I thought I might want to go to med school. And so because of that, I had to make sure I had all my sciences. And so I remember I took physics 30 in summer, like not even in summer school, on Saturdays. I was Saturday mornings while I was in regular school. I was also taking physics 20 and 30. And I have to admit that was not fun, nor was I very good at it. I didn't mind bio and chem, but physics was hard for me. My kids and my dog. 100%. Oh, and I should say my husband. He'd be very insulted if he heard me not say my husband. But my family, for sure. I was just away from them for a week, and I can tell you all I wanted to do was get home and be with them, and they're pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fan of yoga. I do that almost every day if I can. It helps me feel strong, and sometimes, I do a lot of walking and sitting, and it just helps me feel like I can get through the days. I love long walks in our river valley, particularly with my dog. I am a big reader, although I have to say it's been like something I've had to really deliberately do since I got into politics, is to still read novels. I love reading fiction, but I kind of got away from it for the first couple of years I was in politics because I was so busy with other things. But now I'm back onto trying to regularly be reading a fiction novel. And I love to travel. So yeah. So one of my favorite authors is a Canadian author, Anne-Marie MacDonald. I just finished her most recent book called Fane, but she wrote the book Fall on Your Knees, and she's just an author that I feel like when I get into her books, I could lock myself up in a room for 4 days and not leave until I finish reading it, because she also writes big books. They're quite big. So I just love her stories, and they're so vivid, and their characters are so remarkable. So she's definitely my favorite author, but I also like to read to my kids a lot. And I'm trying to currently encourage my 9-year-old daughter to read Anne of Green Gables, because it feels like it's a rite of passage for any Canadian girl. So I'm trying to get her to read it, but I think she knows I want her to, so she's not doing it. I don't really watch so many movies anymore. I feel like I don't have I can't stay awake enough for a 2-hour movie. I feel like the only time I go to see movies are with my kids. But I'm a big, TV show watcher, and there's so many good series out there. Probably some of my favorite shows are Succession, Mad Men. I'm watching The Bear right now. So I feel like I'm one of those people who digs into really good TV shows, and I'll watch them over and over again. For politics, actually my favorite is Parks and Recreation, because it's actually about public service and optimism, my two favorite things. And so that's my go-to show for kind of reconnecting to why I do what I do. Favorite food. I have so many different things. I think my comfort food is always going to be Indian food. I love it. And if I haven't had it for long and, for a while, I'm craving it and I miss it. I cook Indian food, but I'm not the best chef at it. My mom surely is. But even when I'm in other places around the world, or I'm out living in another city for a while, it's Indian food. It's my comfort food. So I'm a vegetarian, so there's lots of great options in Indian food for vegetarians. And it has to come with a cup of chai. Well, I was a lawyer, and I sometimes try to imagine my life if I was still practicing law. I don't know that I would still be practicing law. I really like this kind of advocacy. I sometimes think that if I hadn't gone into law or politics, I would have liked to have been a psychologist, because I really like to try to understand where people are coming from, what experiences sort of shape their view of the world. And so I feel like that might be something I could have been good at if I didn't go into politics. You deserve to be in the spaces that you're in. Certainly growing up in this province as a woman of color, I didn't see people who looked like me in leadership roles a lot. I didn't see it in politics, and I followed politics quite a bit. That's obviously shifted quite a bit, but I do feel like I still have moments where I walk into rooms where I wonder if I belong, and I've gotten better as I've gotten older of being pretty sure of my role there, but I definitely would have said to my younger self too that I deserve to be in every space I'm in.